Okay, welcome to Richardson Plano Networking. Today, our leader, David Roberts, will lead us down a new path that offers an opportunity to expand our business, be more successful, and grow both individually and collectively. If you've been making a networking investment for any amount of time, your zombie is most likely driving a large amount of your activity. But as networking warriors, I know you are committed to moving forward, which will be the focus of today's mastermind. Change is on the immediate horizon, and we need your participation and input today to make a difference in both your future and that of our group. You are what makes our network the powerful community that it is. Let us welcome our leader, David Roberts, to open our eyes to opportunities to grow individually and collectively. What David will talk to us about today will open our eyes to new potential for each one of us. Please again welcome our leader, David Roberts.
Thank you, Randy. That was very. Randy wrote that. That's good. Thank you, Randy, for the introduction. And I appreciate you taking the time to do that. Um,
Our beloved leader speaks.
well, I don't know about beloved, and I don't
Oh,
know.
sure.
Leadership.
Sure. I
For
don't use
now.
that word lightly.
Leadership is an interesting thing, right? So I'm going to reclaim the host, but I'm also going to Ricky. I'm going to give you back co-host so that you can admit anybody that comes in, so I'm not distracted by that. So let me kind of frame this a little bit. I did it in the email reminder that I sent, and there's no great wisdom here. One of the things we're at kind of a juncture here that I think is critical. One of the reasons I reached out, some of you I texted directly as well as the email, simply because at some point along the journey, you've opted in to be connected, saw that there was potentially something there. And I just, a lot has changed and evolved, and it's pretty cool. And I think we're kind of at an explosive point here of opportunity that, regardless of where you want to go, I think there's options, and there's things that we're going to do to utilize the tools that we have at our disposal that I think will serve everybody well. And I'm going to try and share a little bit of that with you today. The purpose of this really is, as I said early on, is to get your engagement, thoughts, questions, concerns, anything that this is a mastermind. So part of what I want to do and what we do for our speaker guests or our mastermind leads that are not regular parts of the group is it's not just them or me sharing my perspective on a topic, but in fact, the purpose of a mastermind is to expand our thinking, right? It's to expand beyond what we can do. I can sit in a room, or you can sit in a room, and you can work on the goals that you have on your business. You can work on the challenges you're facing, the struggles, or whatever that might be. And the purpose of a mastermind is to get some other minds looking at the same beach ball, if you will, but maybe seeing it from a different angle and helping you expand your thinking. So that's what I'm hoping for here today. This, at the end of this, if you want to get kind of what I would call a more cohesive overview of Be Connected in its as a subset of what we're going to talk about, I can send you I'll put a Vimeo link, or potentially put it up there that you can get after the fact. So it's about a 17-minute video that kind of explains where we're at with Be Connected. And I say we because everybody on this Zoom except and here's Vic Nathan. Vic, I'm promoting you to panelist, but we'll be back. I just saw he joined Ricky, so I went ahead and snagged him. But anyway, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to kind of share with you, and then I want y'all to engage. Y'all, that's a Texas term. I've been here now long enough I get to say that. Um, I'm gonna share the screen. I'm gonna walk through some slides, but I want that will give you a little bit of perspective. But along the way, if you have a question or whatever, just if I take a breath, feel free to open your mic and ask. And if we need to stop the shared screen and have a discussion, we'll do that at that point in time. Does that make sense? Randy, was that clear
Yeah,
to you?
the question, I just had one question is, is the end of this, is it your intent that we will develop a set of action steps from this? And if so, should I take notes to that intent?
The answer to that's one of the objectives here is to, if the feedback that you guys share with me or the thoughts should result in, I mean, again, action is the key, right? I mean, we
Right.
talk about this on our masterminds, is the part of what we're doing here is not only learning something maybe we didn't know or reinforcing something we already did know, but also talking about what are we going to do with it going forward. So whether they're actions for individuals within
Okay.
this group or me, yes. So I appreciate you doing that as well. Don, did you have anything before I started? You have your mic open. Guess not. Don Huff. I was just Don, I'm going to mute you so that I don't want it to interrupt the thing. So let me share my screen here.
Stepped away anyway, so.
Got a little bit of a PowerPoint that's here that I wanted to share, and I won't spend time. The intention really is to structure my communication a little bit so I'm not bouncing all over the place. But one of the things is we being those of us in the in-person networking world, I would submit that everybody I've talked to is trying to figure out how to leverage our networking investment. And that's not only the networking that we've been doing to, get people aware of who we are and what we're doing on the various social media platforms. Notice that this says the ultimate social business platform. I just had conversations with the leadership of Be Connected yesterday and said, we need to stop saying social media business or social media and get the media out of it. And now this is my point of view. They basically embraced it. And that is that nobody trusts media these days. And whether it's social media or mainstream media or any other, quote, big tech media, Facebook, link, all these things, we all look at it kind of cross-eyed, a little bit, side-eyed, as my kids say, that we're not so it's really a social business platform. And you say, well, what's the social part? Well, when we do networking, we talk about in our face-to-face Richardson Plano networkers, which, by the way, Don Huff is helping me with the rebranding and the cohesive branding of all the stuff we're doing to what I'm calling warrior networking. Warrior versus Zombie is my podcast. We're going to have I'm going to have warrior coaching. I'm going to be enlisting people in our network that may be able to be the designated point person to give coaching in various areas, whether they're, financial or real estate or music or art or creative, there could be anything. So I'm looking to kind of, again, take it to the next level. And I am never satisfied. If you know me, and if you've known me for, my entire professional career, retired or not, I'm always looking forward. And that's what warriors are. Warriors are not just staggering down the road like zombies, in doing the same thing we did yesterday, but we're actually looking forward. And that's why I say we want to move forward. We want to take things to the next level. We want to add value and whatever. And I've had many one-to-ones recently with folks in the network that have said, you know, I'm investing a lot of time in Richard Plano networkers, master networkers, BNI, and the chamber, on, you know, open Zoom calls, you name it, you know, and I'm trying to make some sense out of where to invest my most valuable asset. That's the way I characterize it, which is your time. And then in some cases, money. I mean, I just learned about a new networking franchise last week. If you were on the Mastermind last week and you heard Tony Harris Taylor talk about viral, you know, marketing and growing your business, and she was talking about networking and owning 8 network in action franchises. There's all kinds of those out there. It's not $2 a week, it's $175 a month. And there's pretty much nothing that they offer in that group that we don't have access to today, if we take access to it in Richardson Plano Networkers. So you're getting a heck of a deal if, you know, the market price is $175 a month and we're paying what we are. So anyway, be connected now. For those that have gotten on board, a lot of you maybe got on board. I've been on for a couple of years, and the platform has evolved. The most recent thing now is the virtual meeting component of Be Connected, which I'll talk about here in a minute, that we have a new partnership. Zoom has been integrated into the platform. This weekly Mastermind is actually a show on the RP Networkers channel on Be Connected after it's recorded, and it's available to people on the platform if they want to join live. Although there's been some challenges with that, and that's part of why we're moving. Plus, there's some things that we'd like to be able to do when we're talking about networking the way we network in person, and kind of making that more like we're networking, online, more aligned with that. So virtual meetings is one of the components now of Be Connected. So whether it's a free or paid membership, we'll talk about that. You have virtual meeting capabilities. You're going to have the connection generator, which is proprietary software. Your ability to create or participate in groups, and then create groups if you do. And then Be Connected is in 114 countries, and it's here in Texas. And part of what we'll talk about, and what I want you to think about, is how do you begin to leverage and migrate your network or your community of influence here locally and beyond, or maybe expanding it through use of these tools. And then the last thing that they had kind of stepped away from for a minute, and then a lot of us said, no, that doesn't, is this online university. And again, I'm just going to go ping through some of this stuff, but the reality of it is there's a lot of capabilities that that are available to you as we speak. So basically free now in the new virtual meeting platform, and we're going to compare this to Zoom, is that in the free version of Be Connected, and even though it's a product called Meetin, MEETN, it is underneath the cover, if you will, but it's a Be Connected virtual meeting tool, webinar. For free, you can have 90-minute meetings. That usually would suffice for most people, to do a meeting. If you're having more than an hour and a half, this is an hour and a half meeting. If you're having more than an hour and a half meeting, probably don't need it. In Zoom right now, free membership or free Zoom account gets you 40 minutes, and they now are enforcing that. They will kick you off if you've had free ones. The other thing is there's other products called StreamYard and other places where you can stream to different platforms. Again, on a free Zoom, you can't do that. But here in our new Be Connected virtual meeting platform, you'll be able to, you can stream. And by the way, I have this virtual meeting. We're in beta right now, and I have that, and I can share that with you if we have time. I think that kind of messed up a little bit of the Zoom because I was doing that underneath, and that's why I had to restart just to make sure there wasn't any tolerance stack there. And then it's all HD video and audio, which is kind of cool. So one of the things we run into is I have a high quality mic, and so the recordings, the video will be much higher level than we're used to. If you go to the upgraded, and there is a deal for upgrading for those in the Be Connected community on the Meeting platform, you can get up to 1,000 attendees, unlimited duration. There's web-based widgets, which I can share with, talk about a little bit. And then the price per month for the upgraded platform is $49.95, and that includes the entire Be Connected package as well as the virtual meeting, versus if you got everything that we have that Zoom offers, it's about $488 a month. So it's a little bit of a better price point if you want to pay. And if you just want free, you can do most of everything. Probably most of us would want to do with the platform as a free member of Be Connected. So again, I'll say this right now. I'm offering here for anybody, and pretty much everybody except for Alan Zartman. And Alan, I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying you've got to registered on the Be Connected platform, and I'll share a link for you to be able to do that. Again, so for a free membership, and some of you actually, I'm trying, like Ricky, some of you actually have paid memberships. That you have actually some other capabilities, and so if you want to take it offline and talk about how can you apply this, or where you should be going with it. One of the reasons I'm introducing this today is not only to get your thoughts, but also if there's some of you who say, okay, now I'm ready I want to put some of this into practice or figure out how to apply this to my business. I'm offering to invest some time with you to make that a reality. So just so you know, this is the features that are available at every price level. I'm not going to go through it, but basically instant replays, personalized room names, all these are available on the new platform, free or otherwise. That's why it says at every price level. With the increased capabilities, you have the Be Connected connection generator. Again, that's available. Unlimited connections. It will serve up to you people that you might want to connect with, and allow you to build out your profile and those kinds of things. There's also now in the Be Connected platform, if you haven't been on lately, there's like you have on Twitter or any of those, or on the social media, on the homepage, there's a news feed. So, depending on what level you are, as far as membership, you can, when you post on there, you're either posting that and your connections will see it, or if you're like me, or some of you who are at the ambassador level, when you post on that feed, everybody sees it. There's no throttling back like you see on Facebook or any of the other platforms that try to get you to pay in order to have more people see your feed. So, and then the other component is the Be Learning Center, which there's all kinds of training on the platform to teach you how to do, if you're running a business and you want to know how to do a better job of marketing or branding or there's classes or training that you can do that are available. And again, not something you have to pay for. Some of this stuff you've been aware. This is the various, and again, I'm not spending a lot of time on this. If you want to drill down into it, we'll get into it more. But the main thing to pay attention to here is there's a lot of functionality available at the free level. There's premium right now, and then there's platinum. And interestingly enough, if you look at the price point, premium and platinum are the same. Now that's eventually platinum will be I think it's $99 or whatever, something like that. But we're in what's called beta, so the premium and platinum are the same price. So obviously, if you were going to go to a paid membership, you would go to platinum, and the increased the things that are there is allows you to create your own groups, also your own shows like my Warrior versus Zombie show or Connect to Thrive Mastermind show, or and you can then blast out to public forums and so on. So you can stream once you start using it. Like we could do this, or you could do a presentation, and you could be streaming to multiple platforms. Now I know for the financial folks and some of those things you can't really do that, but within this community, as long as we're not recording and then broadcasting it out, you can have your interaction. So, and that's another area. There's also some advantages, even if you're not streaming, to people that need to onboard clients, need to do that with this new tool that I'll share with you in a second. So really, there's really just three memberships now. A lot of people, I think, depending on when you looked at Be Connected, there were multiple stages. There were, you paid this for this, you paid that for that. It really is. It's been really simplified, and the main thing is just take advantage of the capabilities available for free, and then if you think you want to, go further, that's fine. I mean, and again, I can help anybody take advantage of that. We're going to be employing a lot of the capabilities here to augment and our network. I'm going to take a breath here. Any questions that occur to anybody before I talk about a couple of other things here? So go ahead and just open your mic and ask.
Well, my question is, when you have the capabilities of actually streaming to multiple things, are you streaming to YouTube, Facebook, TikTok? What are the things you can stream to simultaneously?
The answer is first of all, the streaming to multiple platforms is being launched, I believe, on Monday. It's available, but it's still in beta mode, and it is all of the above. And
Okay.
and as build, they're actually one of the things, unlike maybe some of the other platforms, you can actually you can stream to multiple platforms at the same time. So you could stream to Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, whatever, so that's the intent. Again, as with Be Connected, this is a early innovator, although they've been developing this tool, this platform for about 4 years now. Actually longer than Be Connected has been around, but they've been, when you see the product or whatever, you'll see that there's a ton of investment, if you will, that's been put into it already. So any other questions? Thank you, Ricky, for that. Anybody else? Randy, go ahead. Your mic is open. Did you have a question or comment?
Yes, I did. And so it's kind of an ongoing question that I'm assuming you will probably answer part of, if not all of it, by the time this is over. But my question was, how do people, not just me, but everybody, how do people get to understand how to use this tool to grow their business?
So how do people get to use it? Number one is use it. That's the main thing. There are a number of that have been added, number of tutorials, videos on how to use not only the new webinar platform, the components of that, as well as the other aspects of it are being developed. They're actually out there. So and that's a great question, Randy, because one of the things is, and then the other way that for people that are on this in our community is, if and Vic Nathan is on here, and he's an example of, I'm happy to work with folks to apply and utilize the technology as I'm doing. So, I mean, again, it's part of it is, life's a team sport. We're working through this together. So hopefully that answers the question. Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
No, there's a second part to that. Maybe I didn't make myself clear. So let's just take the one you just used, the webinar platform. So there's two steps. One, and there's probably many, but the first step is the mechanics of how do I use and create the webinar platform, okay?
Right.
But then the more important question is, once I know how to create one and use it, what do I do with it to grow my business?
Right.
And I think
And
that's really what the long pull here is to grow our businesses individually and collectively.
Precisely. And that's one of the reasons why, when I say taking things to the next level, part of what we're trying to do in this community, and we've been trying to do, our goal to do, is help each other grow our businesses through networking, through support, even without the tool, right?
Right.
Is in, that's why we have one-to-ones. That's why we do it. So the answer to applying it to your business, I can help you, and there'll be some things that are kind of generic, or they cut across everybody's business, that'll be available on the on the website, available to people, but the more important thing is, okay, now that I can set up my basic platform, how could I use this tool to grow business, to get more leads, to follow up with leads,
right.
And that question would be on a one-to-one basis. And again, over time, there will be things, as is any platform, where the people that'll say, okay, I figured this out, whether you're talking LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, right? And I'm certain, actually, on the journey as we go forward, there'll be people that say, oh, okay, so I'm going to do some consulting or whatever, and help people get on board, and they may monetize it. They may, that may be a class, a program that people, just like people develop on other platforms. I would expect that over time.
I would also expect that Richardson Plano Networking has been around for a while, and I think the beauty of this networking group is we've gotten to know each other. As this tool becomes fresh in our minds, and each of us can see the big picture is how it's used, but then the details of how I use it. We help each other. As a really good network, we just help each other. Somebody says, well, I got a question, and Don Huff helps me figure out the answer.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
And that's essentially, you said it very well, Randy. I mean, the way I envision this is we're all warriors aligned to some level on the journey together, and life, and our business life as well as our personal life, is a team sport.
Yep.
And I would love it. I mean, that's part of why I enlisted and asked some of y'all to be a part of this, is just to think about how we could help people in the group with this tool, not just say, oh, here it is, sign up. I mean, yeah, you can do that. And I mean, timing is everything, and everybody's got a full plate. I know Lisa's on, and she's got getting ready to travel, and her normal thing, right? Traveling and having fun. She's got a great life. But also, it's time, part of it is we're building relationships where you know where to find me, you know where to find Randy, that kind of thing. So that's a beautiful thing. Don Sprague, did you have something?
Yeah, my question, I guess, is more technologically related. As we split our efforts between Be Connected and Link and Zoom and the other platforms that we're on, sometimes it gets muddy when you're transitioning. What's the long game for Be Connected in terms of Zoom replacement, and or how do we use it in a practical every Wednesday kind of connecting platform?
Yeah, that's a great question, Don. And in the long game, to and again, I consult with the folks on the platform. I've been involved with it for a long time. I continually ask those kind of questions and say, okay, this looks like a gap. I have the opportunity. Actually, the most recent change that was made yesterday on a conversation I was having about the fact that we need to eliminate media from the focus and really be more on really stay focused on social business platform rather than social media. The intention would be to migrate. Zoom will not be a part of it. And again, I'm Zoom will be, you'll be able to do stuff on. No, I'll probably still have a Zoom account because a lot of people are familiar with Zoom. You don't have to have a Zoom account to participate going forward, or you wouldn't have to have even a Be Connected account to participate on a weekly meeting virtually when we move to the new platform. It's just basically a link, and people will be able to go. It's usually using your web browser, and if we have time, I may share the product with you, but we can talk a little bit about it, and I can share with you some videos. But the long game is for it to be just what I displayed there earlier, is a platform of keeping allowing you to focus all of your energy into the people you're working with are like the people in RP Networkers that you see every week, and it's a more manageable, but you can channel people and get your message out if you want to, but you can also bring more focus to the meetings and to the actual interaction like we're doing here.
I have a something that I'd like to say about Be Connected. I think we are seeing right before our eyes something happening that maybe you don't realize as a Richardson Plano networker, but our leader there, Mr. David Roberts, he hosts a podcast, and his panelists his guests on the podcast are not always, maybe even rarely, live in the DFW area. Where do you think he's got connected with those people? Just think about that for a minute. He's got connected with how many podcasts now are you rolling on?
Number 93 is up on replay with Joni O'Hanlon, who's in Northern Ireland. And I'm getting ready to publish that to the audio platforms as well. So look at all the people that he has connected with for podcast guests. Now, just
it's obviously
move
a
that
shining
over to
personality.
something else. Move that over to something else. You're not doing a podcast, but just think of the, LinkedIn. You can connect with people all over the place, all over the world. But I've not had one successful contact on LinkedIn that got me business. And most of the time it's just fluff on LinkedIn. But it looks to me like Be Connected is more than fluff. I mean, it's better than fluff, better than LinkedIn. And if you don't realize where Dave has got these connections, well, just ask him, and I have. Lo and behold, it's from Be Connected. So you just think about your reach in the business world if you could do what Dave has done with the guest on his podcast and just transfer that over to your business. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think that the interesting thing is, and let me connect the dots here, because Randy asked a question and you kind of, to some degree, answered it, Ricky, in a way, is that we need to look at your particular business specifically, and it may not be getting podcast hosts or mastermind leads or clients, but depending on your business, for example, I'm going to pick on Don. I left him up here in the spotlight, Don Sprague, because interestingly enough, and he would attest to this, and anybody in the real estate market, like Tony, who just joined us as well, there's an influx of people that are moving into the Dallas-Fort Worth market. So even if you're delivering your services, commercial real estate, you know, whatever you're doing in that space, let's just use that as an example. There may be people looking to access this market or needing services in this market that haven't made it to this market yet. And you can get a head start on that. That might be a value proposition for you in your business. I don't know. I mean, I think that's why I say it's back to the answer to Randy's question. That's where we say, okay, I want to make this, if I'm going to invest any time, and again, just with Be Connected, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever you're doing to support and build your community or your own business network, you need to view it as an investment. So how do you invest your time in any of those platforms, including Be Connected, to get a return, to get more business, to have more impact, whatever that might be? That's the conversation that I think we ought to all be having, and I'm willing to have that conversation. And I know I'm not the only one in our network.
I'd like to add to that, because when I was with Remax back in the 2000s, one of the things that brought to, and then selling houses, frankly, back then, and as well as commercial, but they had an established, obviously, worldwide network, which is my next question, I guess, would be if we're going to replace that with technology, which is what Be Connected is attempting to do, it looks like to me, we got to serve multiple markets. We got to serve the local market, which is our Wednesday meetings and those kind of things. And then this type of platform, expands our reach. But I don't see Be Connected out there to expand beyond the people that know about it today. That's a question I would have. How does Be Connected become, like, say, in my world, the Remax of the 2000s or even today, and get out beyond where they are?
Well, the answer is it's a journey, and just like any other platform like this, there are things happening at the platform level, some marketing and things that are going to be going right now. Again, if you understand market adoption or technology adoption curve, we are still early innovator status with both Be Connected and now the Meetin platform part of that. That's a good news and a bad news. The good news is you're here, as Ricky had kind of pointed out, and you're at a point in time, or we're at a point in time where, I don't believe we're on the bleeding edge of this. I believe we're on the leading edge of this. And so figuring out, where we're all still, kind of bigger, a fish in a smaller pond, how to build an audience, build your community, build your impact here with the time you're investing now is an opportunity. So the answer is, what is Be Connected doing? Be Connected is, they just updated the website yesterday. They are adding this platform into the integration and all that stuff. So there's a lot of stuff going on, as well as once it's kind of a little more out of beta, it's going to be, blown out to all. They're already starting some marketing there to make people aware. But the good news is, you get a chance to build, stake your claim or begin to build your community, doing what you're largely already doing already. So, any other questions, observations? I'm going to come back to the share screen here for a minute and just see what else might be useful. I'm going to try here in a sec, but I'm going to I want to move through these slides. One of the things is, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. If this is of interest, I can tell you, a few of you that, like, Tony is actually invested in the platform. And what that really looks like is something I'm not going to get heavily into right now, but there is an opportunity where it says free, premium, and platinum, and the premium and platinum are the same price. The platinum level, if you opt in or want to get paid, it's an affiliate. You have the option to be an affiliate, and therefore anybody that decides to upgrade to pay, as an affiliate, if you've referred them to the network and you're cookied, if you will, to that person that joins, you get, if they're paying the $50 a month or $49 a month or whatever, you're getting $5 a month for all of those, and then any individual they refer. It's not a multi-level like Lisa understands. It's really a two-tiered affiliate. So, and that is available. I'm not going to go through. This is how the money's made. I don't really. If this is something that's interesting to you, if you're looking at beyond a free membership, wanting to get paid, some of you are already eligible for this, whether you're taking advantage of it or not, or having the opportunity. But I think now the timing, with the launch of this new platform, is actually going to make that a little more real and a little more time. So, because one of the things is, this is a good example. If you there's people out there that are known as influencers. You heard that term before?
Yep.
That whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, YouTube, there are people who have millions of people. There's the Joe Rogans on Spotify. I mean, I'm not a Joe Rogan on my podcast, I'm basically there, but if one of those people became somebody you referred and started using the platform, and then started just the regular conversion of their community, there's the people that those people bring in would be also, there's another 10% that still goes to you. You with me? It's basically a two-tier, and then that's it. So it's then the last one. This is what Tony took advantage of, and Tony, you'll see that the number, but they're taking 10% of the company profits. This is over and above the 10% that people who are affiliates get. And they're allocating 1,000 shares to divide that 10%. So on a quarterly basis, they're paying that out. So I'm not going to get into that, because this is going to be recorded and out there, and I don't want to. I think it's more important just for people to kind of know that that's there. And this is the intention really here for me, was to really make y'all aware and stimulate any discussion, or stimulate any dialogue you want to have around it, or how to not just here right now, but also as we go forward. Tony, you had your hand raised. Go ahead and open your mic.
I have much to say. I just realized one of my old friends, Vic, Nathan, is on the screen. I just want to give it a shout out. Yeah, and I was trying the technology for the longest time to log in. I finally got in, so yeah.
Yeah, well, it was kind of funny because, and Vic, I brought you up on the spotlight since you hadn't introduced yourself. Some of the folks haven't maybe met Vic, but I know, Vic, you've been on some of the calls.
Everybody knows Vic.
Vic, you want to share anything here for a minute?
No, this has been a very educational mastermind, and I appreciate the refresher. and it was really good to reconnect with Tony because I haven't seen him in a couple of years.
Oh,
So,
really? I didn't realize you guys knew each other.
oh yeah, we know each other through our adoptive sister Cheryl Fike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been more than 2 years, Vic. It's been, I would say, at least 3 years
Yes, yes, it was pre-COVID. Before
pre-COVID. That's right.
right. So it's
Well,
really great to see you again, and I'm going to give you a call so we can reconnect and schedule a time to get together on this new platform or Zoom or whatever the platform be, right? So
Yeah, that'll be great.
yeah,
that's
so,
awesome. Well, I'm glad I'm glad that, networking still works.
absolutely, absolutely. So
Lisa,
Anybody else? Ricky, go ahead.
Lisa has her hand raised.
Oh, okay. Go. Let's see. Lisa's not on screen. Let me see. I think, Lisa, you can talk.
Yes. So just, and this may be something you can just get with me later on, but since I was one of the ones that joined at that top level when they first launched, are we grandfathered in or do we have to re-up and pay something?
No, you are. That's why I'm making aware. Some of you have opted in at a point in time, maybe referred some folks, paid, and so on. And you all have, in some, not all, but a number of you have a lot of capability and ability to be, you already are a platinum. You just need to, we need to make sure that that's configured properly and so on. So yes, I can take on that one when you've got the bandwidth to deal with it. We can make sure that you're at least able to get what you got. And Doug Grady, who's actually listening in, he's also has a platinum capability, and so there's opportunities there that maybe people aren't aware of. And frankly, I understand, we kind of opt into things along the way and then things change. But the good news is, for example, the premium level and the platinum level being the same in beta, if somebody weren't already a lifetime member or whatever, weren't a VIP like platinum like I am, but that if they opt in at the 49, even when the price goes up to 99, you're grandfathered in. That's a fundamental strategy of Be Connected, and the way they've implemented it's whatever you get now is at least you get that and more going forward. So that's their strategy, which I appreciate, because that gets, and that's a good strategy for an early innovator platform. But yes, Lisa.
Okay.
Long
Great.
answer to a short question, but yeah, we'll make that work for you.
Okay, we can talk more on that next week then. Sounds good.
Sure, absolutely. Any other questions, comments? Just open your mic. Randy, you got your mic open. Do you have something?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. I just sitting here doodling some notes and stuff. Someone made a comment earlier about LinkedIn as an example, and about how, where did that really go? What did we get out of it, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm sure a few of us at least know of people who early on figured out the capability of LinkedIn and began to create lists and mailing lists and began to send out notices to people and build their network of whatever it is they have to offer, and they have made a lot of money in doing so. If you look at this, I think this isn't the same point that LinkedIn was a few years ago.
Quite a few years ago, yeah.
Right, quite a few years ago.
Decades ago, a couple
and
decades ago.
Take the opportunity here, and you can either be a user and drive its use for you and begin to take opportunity, like you were saying earlier. Okay, you join, you're paying a small amount of money, and that small amount of money over time is actually worth a lot more money because you don't have to buy into these new things. And so you drive the use for you, and then it becomes a very, very powerful tool for each of us. And I think this network, I think one of the missions of this network is to say, well, do we think this is a tool that that many of us can use? How do we as a network help each other take advantage of this, what appears to be very powerful and growing tool?
Yeah, I thank you, Randy. I appreciate that. That is a good point. Don Sprague, did you?
Yeah, I just wanted to point out something, and I'd add to what Randy just said. I'm a member of a multi-level network for supplements, food supplements, and
Right.
watch that grow. And the early adopters always are the ones that make the money. And, and Randy agrees with that. That's what he just said. But I look at, there's a local person that Jared Abshire. I don't know whether people know him. I think everybody knows.
Yeah.
Most people do. He was an early adopter of
Now
Ambit.
he's retired.
Yeah, well, and he made a fortune
Yes, he did.
because of Ambit. I mean, but he was an early adopter.
Right.
Right.
That's what you got to be to to benefit.
Yeah, the thing that has always excited me about this, and I'm just going to be very, very, very transparent with you, and most of you know this already, but I'm just going to say it. I'm going to do what I'm doing as far as building my community and my network and serving you and anybody that God brings into my path without Be Connected, without
Right.
anything. That's just who I am. For me, this is a ministry. This is what I do. And Randy knows that. Some of you who know me know that. And when I retired, I said, I'm going to have an impact. And then if money follows, that's really up to God, or that's a beautiful thing. But I'm going to first make sure that I can serve you. And to me, the excitement of this is the possibility, and I say possibility, and I believe now more probability, that this will enable me to do a better job of that and to add more value to you or to whoever, God brings into my path, because I can now more readily channel my connections to better connections, do better introductions, do better engagement, provide value. And even for the people that choose to serve our community and lead the masterminds, I'm going to show you this. By the way, we got 10 minutes. Let me just say, next week, the mastermind, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way so we don't run into, is Buddy Thornton. He was my podcast guest last Thursday, not this yesterday, but a week ago. And he'll be leading our discussion, and I'll have that up on the meetup. I don't think I've updated it yet, so just get that out there, and I will get that. That'll be out, and you'll see that shortly. But I wanted to do this. I'm going to try this, and I will tell you, I'm going to do a Zoom. I'm going to do a Zoom alternative and share the screen with Zoom running. So it may be a little wonky. So I'm warning you. Randy and I were playing with it a little bit, but I wanted you to kind of see a little bit of so it's not so abstract. I'm going ahead. I'm logging in here. If anybody has any questions or comments while I'm doing this, just go ahead so that we don't have some dead air. Randy, you can go ahead and.
That means Randy fill the dead air.
Yeah, right.
We played with this a little bit earlier, and yes, with any new tool, with any new invention, there are always bugs. And what we found earlier when we were playing with this is that we got the vocal, he was talking and I was talking, and his talking was sort of like vibrating over my talking. And I could imagine at that early stage this morning what happened if there were 6 or 7 of us on and trying it. He managed to get it to settle down, so it might have been just in how he set up the connection. Who knows? But you can't figure that out until you try it. And I think that's what we've got in front of us. Is we've got some new technology, we've got some new opportunities, and we can grow our businesses either the hard way, hammer and tongs, or we can grow our businesses using technology and the power of the network.
And I'll add something else too, that, one of the things that's going to make this easily adopted is to be seamless across all the platforms
Yep.
and so on, because people won't adopt it if it's difficult or even if they perceive it as difficult. So that's, we can volunteer as beta testers. I mean, all of us.
Right. Exactly.
To do that and
I wrote that down here.
go faster.
Well,
Exactly.
now, Randy, is it staticky still?
No, not like it was this morning.
Good. Okay. So I'm now, you see, I'm sharing my screen. This is a meeting within a meeting. Okay. So you wouldn't be doing this. Okay. You would be using the Meetin platform. And I want to share something with you. There's a lot that I can share, but think about us you having a Zoom meeting. And by the way, you can do this even with the free version of Be Connected.
And we're starting to get the crackling, by the way.
All right. Well, just
a little.
Endure it a little bit because we're doing a layered thing here.
Got it.
But I want to show you something. I showed this to Randy. So at the end of a meeting, I'm going to show you two different things. There's a thing called call to action. So let's say I'm going to use Lisa as an example. So Lisa is presenting, sharing about Secret. And at the end of her presentation, she says, okay, now here's a link for you to, if you like it, for you to sign up, right? And so you can create, took me about 2 minutes to create this. I'm going to share this. So booking link. So if I say, okay, what you want is to schedule a one-to-one with me right now. And we'll get started. A lot of times we'll post that in a chat, and I know my lips aren't going to be syncing, guys, so I know that because it's layered. You can click on that link. It's a hot link. Can you see this? It's going to bring up.
Not yet, Dave. Here it comes. You still with us, David? Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah, you see where it's got my booking site?
Yep.
Yeah. So that was right from the meet, right? If we were, like I said, using that as a tool.
Right.
So somebody could say, let's say on our weekly in-person meeting, right? If we were using this as the virtual component, and let's say Lisa, or let's say somebody else was doing their spotlight. The always question is, how do we follow up with you? How do we do this, right? You can actually, you can come up with a button bar. There's another widget here that I just created ad hoc some RP networkers. So
Zoom on the top?
Yeah, at the top.
Right.
And if you wanted to book a one-to-one with me, you click on that link.
Right.
If you wanted to register for Be Connected, you can click on that link. I'm not going to do it because
Right.
all these are hot. All these, if you want to go to our meetup, somebody says, okay, I like this in person. Where's your meetup site? I didn't find you on Meetup. Here's the meetup. Here's the RP Networkers Facebook groups. I'm always saying, go register for our Facebook group, so I can click on that. Or if you want to know where to find my podcast, you can click on that. I could have also put, I just clicked on it. This is the podcast with all the episodes. So anyway, so I just wanted to, that's just a taste of the functionality. The other thing is,
That's leveraging the power of technology.
right. The other thing that's cool about it, and again, if you don't run the meeting and go through all the hoops that I go through, with
Can you
doing-
click off, or are you going to still stay in this mode because we're still getting the crackling?
Okay, yeah. Let me close.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay. No, don't apologize. I appreciate you giving me the feedback.
It's gone.
Yeah, because I just closed that because it was
Right.
it's like I said.
That's a bug that has to be worked out.
Well, it's not only it's a bug. You probably wouldn't want to do that. You wouldn't want to be running Meetin underneath Zoom.
Right.
I mean, we're doing something that.
Good.
but I just wanted to give you a sense of that. But then for like a financial planner, for example, Luke's getting ready to run, but let me tell you, somebody like that, you know, you're having a call with a client and then they say, hey, yeah, I'd like to, you know, I need you to put this kind of information in there. You can have a hot link for them to click on a link that takes you to your website. I didn't even show you that there's a web pop-up. So you can just put that in there and go to that and bring up your website in the raw and then walk through it just like I was, not just shared screen. You can open it's a web popper. It's a tool and everything is recorded. It's all in HD. You may not have been able to discern that necessarily, but if you've seen any of the recordings, they're much prettier, much clearer than that.
Than they used to be.
So there's a lot of enhancements, but it's new technology. So I'm sure, you know, there'll be some steps along the journey where they'll learn some things, but that's the challenge. If you're involved in beta, the opportunity some of you have kind of picked up on is, and then again, if you say, hey, I'm going to be networking anyway, I'm building my business, I can use this tool to build my business. And oh, by the way, when somebody else says, hey, how do I get that free, you know, meeting tool to do my business? You say, oh, you can get it for free on Be Connected. By the way, they can't get it for free on Meetin. Meetin has given us an exclusive for 6 months for the free, even though they will have a free offering. For now, we're kind of part of their go-to-market platform. So the partnership is giving us kind of a head start on